The air grew heavier, thick with the smell of wet metal and decay. I couldn't move. My boots felt glued to the wooden planks of the bridge. The phantom engineer hovered beside me, silent, his coat billowing in the mist. And then I saw it, a shadow rising from the bayou. Not just a shadow, a shape that shouldn't exist. The wrecked train car lurched upward, twisting as if something inside it had found life. Pieces of bent steel scraped against each other with a deafening screech that made my teeth rattle. The ghostly passengers pressed against the windows, faces pale and hollow, mouths opening and closing in silent screams. A cold hand seems to reach from the water, stretching impossibly toward the bridge. I stumbled back, the wood beneath me groaned, threatening to give way under my weight. "Run," the engineer finally whispered, his voice hollow, carried by the fog like it wasn't coming from him. I obeyed. My boots pounded against the planks as the shadowed wreckage surged behind me, water splashing high into the mist. Clank, clank, clank. The sound of metal rails bending under the weight of an invisible train echoed through the night. I glanced over my shoulder. The phantom engineer was gone, and in his place, a new figure had appeared on the track ahead, tall, motionless, watching. The red glow of lanterns or maybe eyes flickered through the fog, making each face of the ghostly passengers. I screamed as the bridge beneath me groaned. Every step I took felt like the last, the air vibrating with the impossible sound of a train that should have been dead decades ago. And then the water erupted again. Something moved faster than any human could, sliding along the submerged rails, something that wanted me. The swamp wasn't empty, it had never been empty, and the Big Bayou Canot Phantom was awake. I ran without thinking, every muscle screaming. As the bridge creaked beneath me, the fog thickened, curling around my legs, blurring the edges of the swamp and the broken train beneath the water. The sound behind me was worse than anything I'd ever heard. Metal grinding, twisted steel scraping, and the muffled, desperate screams of passengers who had long since died. I risked a glance back. The wreckage surged again, impossibly rising higher, as if some unseen force was dragging it from the water. And the shadow, the phantom engineer, he had reappeared on the rails behind me. His coat flared like smoke, and his face was still hollow, eyes wide in eternal panic. He didn't move toward me. He moved alongside the rising train, keeping pace, pointing, warning, his body flickering in and out of reality. I stumbled over a loose plank. My flashlight clattered to the floor, rolling across the boards. The beam flickered, then caught something ahead, another figure. This one was human, or had been. The body was twisted, soaked, barely recognizable, crawling along the bridge as if trying to escape the water's grasp. Its eyes, glowing faintly in the fog, locked onto me. I froze. The air felt alive, vibrating with energy I couldn't name. A low rumble rolled through the swamp and the water churned violently below. The wrecked cars shifted again, one scraping against the bridge supports with a sound that made my blood run cold. The phantom engineer raised his arm toward the figure, and for the first time I understood this wasn't just a haunting. It was a warning, and the swamp was punishing anyone who dared cross its rails at night. I backed up slowly, heart hammering, knowing that one wrong step could send me over the edge. The Big Bayou Canot Phantom was close, and it was patient. I couldn't breathe. The night felt like it was pressing down on me, thick and suffocating. The swamp was alive with movement, the water bubbling where the wreckage lurked, fog swirling like smoke, and the distant croak of frogs suddenly sounding like whispers. The twisted, half-submerged train car shifted again, scraping along the bridge supports with a sound that made my teeth rattle. Then I saw it, A massive shadow rising from the water beside the bridge. Not the phantom engineer this time. Something larger, older, darker. A shape that should have remained at the bottom of Big Bayou Canot for decades. It moved unnaturally fast, sliding across the water's surface toward the bridge. The cries from the wreck below grew louder, more frantic, a chorus of ghostly panic. The phantom engineer floated beside me silently, his finger still pointing toward the bridge, urging me forward. My legs shook as I moved, taking slow, careful steps, trying to keep my balance on the soaked, unstable planks. The shadow reached the first rail of the bridge. Its outline became clearer, a massive, warped figure of a train car, rusted, broken, yet somehow moving with a terrifying intelligence, slid toward me. The water splashed against the wooden supports, sending droplets into my face. I froze, and then I heard it, a whisper, not from the phantom engineer, not from the wreck below, but from the shadow itself, soft, cold, hollow. "You shouldn't be here." The words cut through the fog like a knife, leaving no doubt. This thing, the Big Bayou Canot Phantom, was aware. It wasn't just a memory of disaster. It was alive, and it was hunting anyone who came too close. The bridge groaned beneath my weight as I froze in place. The water below churned violently as if the wrecked train itself were trying to push itself onto the bridge. The ghostly passengers pressed against the broken windows, some reaching out, others banging their fists against the twisted metal. Their faces were pale, hollow, eyes filled with eternal panic. The shadow moved again, faster this time. A massive, warped train car sliding toward me, water spraying high into the fog. I stumbled back, heart hammering, every step threatening to send me into the black water below. And then I felt it, footsteps behind me, heavy, slow, deliberate, not on the bridge, beside it. The phantom engineer had returned, hovering slightly at my side. His finger was still pointed forward toward the approaching shadow, urging me to move. I had no choice. I ran. The bridge shook beneath me, splintering slightly with every pounding step. The wreckage surged closer. The cries from the submerged train intensified, a chorus of suffering that echoed across the foggy bayou. And then I saw it clearly, the shape of the locomotive, twisted, warped, but moving as if alive. It was coming for me. I could feel the weight of the years pressing down, the decades of disaster still clinging to this place. Every nerve in my body screamed to turn back, but I kept running, because stopping would mean joining them. The Big Bayou Canot Phantom wasn't just a ghost. It was the swamp itself, and it had claimed every soul foolish enough to linger too long. I could barely breathe. The fog burned my lungs, thick and cold, swirling around me like a living thing. The bridge groaned with every step, wood splintered under my boots, the planks threatening to give away. The shadow wreckage surged behind me, scraping and groaning as if it were alive. The cries of the ghostly passengers grew louder, desperate, echoing through the night like a chorus of souls trapped between worlds. The phantom engineer hovered at my side, his coat flaring in the fog. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. His eyes, hollow, ancient, conveyed one thing: run. I glanced back. The twisted train car moved faster than it should, sliding along the rails as if the water itself were carrying it forward. And the voices, the cries from the submerged wreck, were joined now by another sound, the clatter of metal, like heavy boots pounding in rhythm, moving closer to me. I stumbled, nearly falling into the black water below. The engineer's hand shot out and grabbed my arm, ice cold, unyielding. He pointed again toward the fog, toward the tracks leading off the bridge. I didn't need to be told twice. I ran, every nerve screaming as the impossible locomotive surged behind me, ghostly passengers pressing against mangled windows, reaching out for anyone who dared follow. The swamp was alive. The Big Bayou Canot Phantom was patient, and it didn't forgive. It made it to the far side of the bridge, my body shaking, my mind numb. But I knew the phantom wasn't finished. It waits, always, watching, listening. And one night it will claim the next unwary soul who dares set foot on these rails. By the time I reached solid ground, the fog had begun to thin. The swamp returned to its usual stillness, the gentle ripple of water, the low hum of insects, the croak of frogs hiding among the cypress knees. But I knew better. The Big Bayou Canot Phantom wasn't gone. It never truly leaves. The Phantom engineer had vanished along with the rising wreckage, fading into the mist as if he'd never been there. But the tracks, the bridge, the water, all of it still held their secrets. I stayed near the edge of the bayou, listening. For hours, nothing moved. Yet every time the wind shifted, I could swear I heard it. Clank, clank, clank. The sound of rails bending under invisible weight, the whispers of trapped souls carried by the fog, the warning of a presence that still patrols the bridge. Some nights, when the mist rolls thick and heavy over the water, I can see a shadow moving along the rails, tall, broad-shouldered, wearing a long coat, the Phantom engineer, and behind him, the impossible, twisted wreckage of the train. The Big Bayou Canot Phantom is still out there, waiting, watching, and anyone who dares to walk the bridge at midnight will hear the rails call their name. The swamp does not forgive, the swamp does not forget, and the phantom is patient.